Hi Paddington class, Miss Herbert here. I hope you are all well. Today I've decided to read a book called The Boss Dog of Blossom Street. Now, for those of you that know me very well, I have recently just got a new puppy and his name is Buster. And I love telling lots of funny stories about what Buster gets up to. Now, I'm reading this book at home, so if you do hear a bark, then you know it's Buster. Buster is 11 months old. And he's very, very cheeky. So let's see who the boss dog is of Blossom Street. Snap was a small black and brown dog. He was the boss dog of Blossom Street. On Saturday morning, he walked up and down Blossom Street as usual. He sniffed all the doorsteps and lampposts. He wagged his tail at the children who saved scraps for him. He poked his head into baby Kelly's pram. Kelly laughed and touched Snap's wet nose. Then Snap made sure that the dogs and cats on the street were in their places. Dogs have to stay in their own backyards and cats have to sit on the backyard walls. That's if they dare to come out at all. Snap trotted back to his own door. Everything seemed fine on Blossom Street, but everything was not fine. Snap's owners, Ada and Harry, were at home. This was odd. They always went to work on Saturday mornings. There were boxes everywhere. Harry was taking a bed apart. Ada was putting cups into a box. "Hello, Snap," she said as he came in. Snap sniffed the boxes. "You better have a doggy chunks before the van comes." "What van?" Snap thought. He soon found out. A big van came to the front of the house. Two men helped Harry and Ada put all their things in the van. "I can't move away," thought Snap. "Who's going to look after Blossom Street? Who will play with the children and keep the other dogs off the street? Who will make sure the cats stay in the backyard walls?" "Come on, Snap," called Harry. "Say goodbye to Blossom Street." He picked Snap up and put him in the front of the van. The children of Blossom Street came out to wave as the van set off. Kelly's mum gave Snap Kelly's mum gave Snap a bit of cake. As he looked out of the window, Snap thought, "If I move away, how can I do my job? I'm the boss dog of Blossom Street, but I can't stay behind. I can leave Ada and Harry. I can't leave Ada and Harry. Dogs stay with their owners, not like some cats I know. They'll go anywhere for a warm fire." The van had to go slowly all the way to the new house. There was a big orange bus in front of it. Snap watched the bus and it gave him an idea. By the time he got to the new house, he had a plan. The plan could help him to be the boss of Blossom Street, even if he didn't live there anymore. Snap felt a bit happier when he jumped out of the van. He went to sniff every corner of the new home. The next day was Sunday and Ada and Harry had to unpack things. The new house had a garden and at the back instead of a yard. "The dogs round here stay in their own gardens," Ada told Snap. "There's no strutting about being boss dog. I'll take you for a walk later." Snap went to see what was at the end of the garden and he heard a yapping sound. Something was trying to get through the fence. It was a little Yorkie dog with a red ribbon tied in a bow at the top of its head. Snap couldn't quite believe it. "Ugh," he thought, "what a whim. That's not a real dog. They wouldn't have dogs like that on Blossom Street." He didn't even bother to bark at the little dog. He heard its owner called, "Foo-foo, Foo-foo Pie, come to Mummy." "Yuck," thought Snap. "Let me get back to Blossom Street." On Monday morning, Harry and Ada went to work. "I've left a key in next door," said Ada to Snap. "Foo-foo's owner will let you in the garden and we hope be home about 5 o'clock. "Will you stop talking to that dog as if he understands?" said Harry. "What do you mean? Of course he understands, don't you, Snap?" said Ada. Later, Foo-foo's owner unlocked the door into the garden. "Good," thought Snap. He ran into the garden and started to dig a hole. "Bad doggy," called Foo-foo's owner. "Don't teach my Foo-foo bad tricks." Snap tried to talk to the dog on the other side. He was a large bulldog with droopy eyes. "This looks better," thought Snap. He barked in a friendly way, but the big dog said nothing at all. "I can't stand this much longer," thought Snap. "I must get back to Blossom Street." That night he fell asleep thinking of his plan for keeping an eye on Blossom Street. As soon as Harry and Ada had driven off in their car the next day, Snap started to work out his plan. Opening the doors was easy for a clever dog like Snap. He set off down the path and out of the front gate. He stopped at the bus stop and stood near a man and a woman. When the big orange bus came, he jumped on behind them so that his bus driver didn't notice them. He sat up at the back and watched out of the window. Soon they came to Blossom Street, and Snap got off behind a man and with a shopping bag. The driver saw his towel disappearing. "Whose dog is that?" he shouted. "Has anyone paid for him?" But it was too late. Snap was already running down Blossom Street. He sniffed at all of the doorsteps and lampposts and chased a cat back to the yard wall. He put his head into Kelly's pram, and Kelly laughed as much that her mum looked to see what was happening. "Snap!" she cried. "What are you doing here?" Snap wagged his tail and looked hungry. "Come inside," said Kelly's mum. "There's some meat left over from yesterday. You can eat that." When the children came home from school, they yelled, "Snap! Snap! We thought you'd gone forever." They patted him and hugged him. He played with them until they were all called in for tea. "It's 5 o'clock," said Kelly's mum. "I'd better take Snap back to his new house." She went to the door and called, "Snap! Snap!" But Snap was not there. The children looked up and down Blossom Street, but they could not see him. In the end, Kelly's mum set off to Snap's new house. Ada and Harry were glad to see Kelly's mum. "Hello, Irene. It's nice of you to visit us," they said. "I've come about Snap." "Oh, who's here?" "Of course he's here," said Ada. "He lives here. He was fast asleep in the kitchen when we came home. I think he likes his new home." "That's why. Then why was he in Blossom Street all day?" "I came to tell you," said Kelly's mum. "Blossom Street? How could he be?" "It must be a dog that looks like him," said Harry. "Oh, no, it was Snap all right. Ask the children." "Just come into the other room a minute," Ada whispered. "Snap understands every word, you know." "Rubbish," said Harry, and he went into the other room and heard Ada's plan. "I've got a day off tomorrow," said Ada. "I'll pretend to go to work as usual, but I'll hide and see what he does." Next day, Ada watched Snap get on the big orange bus. She wanted to laugh. What a clever dog. And she thought, how he does understand. She went to Blossom Street and watched Snap from Kelly's mum's front room. At 4:30, Snap trotted off to the bus stop and caught the bus home. The bus driver said, It's you again, isn't it?" And he let him on without paying. When Ada and Harry got home, Snap was curled up fast asleep. "No wonder you feel tired," said Ada. "It's hard work looking after Blossom Street all day." Snap pricked up his ears and opened one eye. "We all know about it, Snap." Just then there was a knock on the front door. "It's a reporter from the Daily Snoop," said Harry. "He wants a photo of Snap. The bus rider told him about the clever dog who rides the bus all by himself. More like a naughty dog, I think." Snap jumped up and wagged his tail. He liked having his photo taken. The next day, everyone in Blossom Street saw him on the front cover. The headline said, "Snap goes by bus." Lots of people came to ride on the bus with Snap, so the bus driver made plenty of money. And Snap is still the boss dog of Blossom Street, even though he doesn't live there anymore. Now, that made me laugh, that story, because my Buster definitely thinks he's a bit of a boss, and sometimes he goes outside the front of our house and he barks and makes sure all the other animals knows he's around. Anyway, have a lovely summer holiday, and I will see you in September.